When your own aunt calls you a disgrace at Thanksgiving dinner, you don't forget. When she laughs while doing it, you plan. The gavel came down like thunder. I sat in the back row of the county courthouse, my hands folded in my lap, wedding ring catching the fluorescent light. Around me, strangers shuffled papers and whispered bids, but I wasn't looking at them. I was looking at her, Aunt Diane, standing near the auctioneer's table, her face pale as winter milk, her mouth a thin line of disbelief. The auctioneer's voice boomed. Sold to bidder 47 for $287,000. Bidder 47, that was me. Diane's head whipped around, scanning the crowd. When her eyes found mine, I didn't smile. I didn't wave. I just held her gaze, steady, calm, cold, until she looked away first. That's when I knew. The house was mine, and with it, every ounce of power she'd ever held over me. But to understand why that moment mattered, why I'd just spent nearly $300,000 on a 3-bedroom ranch in a declining suburb outside Milwaukee, you have to go back. Back to the woman I was before. Back to the family dinners where I learned to make myself small. Back to the day I realized that sometimes the people who are supposed to love you are the ones sharpening the knives. My name is Margaret Alice Howell. I'm 54 years old, and for most of my life I was invisible. Not literally, of course. I showed up. I worked. I raised 2 kids, Brandon and Sophie, mostly on my own after my husband, Kevin, passed from a heart attack when I was 38. I clocked in at the public library every weekday for 22 years, shelving books and helping retirees find large print mysteries. I brought potato salad to every family gathering. I sent birthday cards. I smiled when people asked how I was doing, even when the answer was barely holding on. But invisible. Yes, because no one ever really saw me. Except when they wanted something. Or when they wanted someone to blame. It started small. It always does. Diane, my mother's younger sister, was the kind of woman who commanded a room without trying. Blonde highlights that cost $200 every 6 weeks. Acrylic nails. A laugh that could cut glass. She lived in a beautiful house on Maplewood Drive, the kind with a wraparound porch and a 2-car garage. Her husband, Uncle Rob, owned a car dealership. They had money. They had status. And Diane loved reminding everyone of it. I was the opposite. I drove a 2008 Honda Civic with a dented bumper. I shopped at Aldi. I wore the same black cardigan to every holiday gathering because it hid the weight I'd gained after Kevin died. Diane never said anything directly. She didn't have to. Margaret, honey, are you still at the library? That's so. Steady. Oh, you're not dadding yet. Well, I suppose it's hard at your age. Brandon's going to community college. That's smart. Not everyone's cut out for university. Each comment was a paper cut. Small, easily dismissed, but they added up. And then, 2 years ago, everything changed. Thanksgiving, 2022. My mother hosted, as she always did. The house smelled like turkey and pie and that faint mustiness that comes from old carpet. I arrived early to help, carrying a store-bought pumpkin pie because I didn't have time to bake. Diane was already there, of course, holding court in the kitchen with Mom and my cousin Jessica. Margaret, Diane sang out, we were just talking about you. I set the pie down. Oh. Jessica was asking if you're seeing anyone. Diane's smile was sharp. I told her you're probably not interested, you know, in men. The room went quiet. I forced a laugh. What? Oh, come on. Diane waved a hand, nails flashing red. You've been single for 15 years, and you're always so private. It's fine, Marg, it's 2022. No one cares anymore. My mother frowned. Diane, I'm just saying, Diane continued, louder now. There's no shame in it. I mean, you never talk about dadding. You live alone. You wear those clothes. She gestured at my sweater. It's obvious. Jessica giggled. My mother looked away. And I stood there, frozen, while my aunt, my own blood, invented a narrative about my life because I didn't fit her picture of normal. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tell her that I had tried dadding, that I'd gone on 3 awkward coffee dates with men from church who talked about their ex-wives the whole time, that I was tired, not gay. That grief doesn't have a timeline. But I didn't say any of that. I just smiled, past the cranberry sauce. That was the beginning. Over the next 6 months, Diane's joke spread. At Easter, my cousin's husband made a comment about me batting for the other team. At Mom's birthday in June, someone I barely knew asked if I'd come out yet. Diane laughed every time, loudest of all. And my mother, she never defended me, not once. Diane doesn't mean anything by it, she'd say. You know how she is. Yes, I did. July 2023. Sophie called me from college. My daughter, 20 years old, studying nursing at UW-Madison, sounded panicked. Mom, they're saying I can't register for fall classes. What? Why? Something about my tuition account. They said there's a balance. I pulled up my laptop, hands shaking. For years, I'd been paying into a $529 college savings plan. Every spare dollar, every tax refund. It wasn't much, maybe $40,000 total, but it was supposed to cover Sophie's tuition. The account balance read $3,200. I called the bank. I called the plan administrator. I demanded statements. And that's when I found them. Withdrawals, dozens of them, over 3 years. Always in amounts just under $2,000, small enough not to trigger alerts. All authorized by the secondary account holder. My mother. I drove to her house that night. I didn't call first. She answered the door in her bathrobe, surprised. Margaret, it's late. Where's the money, Mom? Her face went blank. What money? Sophie's college fund. You've been taking it for 3 years. She sighed, stepped aside, let me in. We sat at her kitchen table, the same one where I'd helped her fold laundry as a kid, where I'd told her about Kevin's death, where I'd eaten 1,000 silent dinners. I needed it, she said simply. You needed it. Diane was struggling. The dealership had a bad year. Rob was stressed. I loaned them some money. You loaned them my daughter's college fund. They paid most of it back, she snapped. And it's not like Sophie's suffering. She got loans, didn't she? I stared at my mother, at the woman who was supposed to protect me, and I realized something I should have known years ago. She didn't see me as a daughter. She saw me as a resource. You gave Diane $37,000, I said slowly, and you never told me. She's my sister. Family helps family. I'm your daughter. And you're fine, Mom said, her voice rising. You always land on your feet, Margaret. Diane needed help. You're just you. Just me. Invisible, dependable, disposable. I left without another word. The auction was in November. I found out through Facebook. Diane had posted a vague status. Tough times, but we'll get through this. God provides. I did some digging, public records, county websites, foreclosure notices. Diane and Rob had defaulted on their mortgage. The house on Maplewood Drive, the one she'd been so proud of, was going to auction. I sat with that information for 2 days. And then I called my financial advisor. I had money, not a lot, but enough. Kevin's life insurance had been modest, but I'd never touched it. I'd been saving it, irrationally, maybe, for some future emergency, some disaster I couldn't name. This felt like disaster enough. I liquidated the account. I secured a pre-approval for a mortgage. I studied the property listing until I could recite the square footage in my sleep. And on auction day, I sat in the back row of that courthouse and waited. Diane didn't see me until it was over. When she did, when she realized who had bought her house, her face went through a series of expressions I'll never forget. Shock, confusion, rage. She stormed over. What the hell do you think you're doing? I stood slowly, buying a house. That's my house. Not anymore. You, she sputtered. You can't do this. You don't even need a house. You're right, I said. I don't. Her eyes narrowed. Then why? Because I wanted it. The eviction notice gave her 30 days. She called me 6 times. I didn't answer. She sent my mother to talk to me. I told Mom the same thing I'd told Diane. The house was mine now, legally purchased. No take-backs. On day 29, Diane showed up at the house, my house, with a U-Haul and her daughter Jessica. I was waiting on the porch. "Margaret," Diane's voice was tight, controlled. "We're here to get our things." "I know. Can we?" "There are rules," I said. She blinked. "Rules." I pulled a folded piece of paper from my pocket. "You can take your personal belongings. You have 4 hours. You will not damage the property. You will not take anything that was here when you moved in: appliances, fixtures, curtains, and..." I looked her in the eye. "You will be respectful, or you leave. Immediately." Diane's jaw clenched. "You're enjoying this?" "No," I said, and I meant it. "I'm just done pretending." She moved through the house like a ghost. I watched from the doorway as she packed boxes, disassembled furniture, wrapped dishes in newspaper. Jessica kept glancing at me, nervous, guilty maybe. At one point, Diane stopped in the living room, the one with the bay window and the fireplace she used to brag about, and just stood there. "I don't understand," she said quietly. "Why do you hate me so much?" I almost laughed. "I don't hate you, Diane." "Then why?" "You called me a lesbian at Thanksgiving." She flinched. "You mocked my life, my clothes, my job. You made me a joke." "I was kidding." "You turned my family against me. You convinced my mother to steal my daughter's college fund." You laughed. "That wasn't." "And you never," I said, my voice steady, "never once thought about what that did to me." Diane's face crumpled. "I'm sorry." "I know." "Then why?" "Because," I said, "sorry doesn't give Sophie her tuition back. Sorry doesn't undo 15 years of you treating me like I was less than you. Sorry doesn't mean anything when you only say it because you got caught." She stared at me. "The house was never the point," I said. "The point is that you finally have to respect me, because I own something you want. And if you ever speak to me the way you used to, if you ever disrespect me again, I'll make sure you regret it." She left an hour later. I stood on the porch and watched the U-Haul disappear down Maplewood Drive. And then I walked back inside. My house. Epilogue. I sold the house 6 months later, made a small profit, used it to pay off Sophie's student loans. My mother doesn't speak to me anymore. Diane blocked me on Facebook. And you know what? I'm fine with that. Because here's the truth, the thing I wish I'd understood decades ago. You don't owe anyone your silence. Not your mother, not your aunt, not the people who are supposed to love you but only know how to use you. For years, I thought being good meant being quiet, being small, absorbing the hurt and smiling through it because that's what women like us were taught to do. But silence doesn't protect you. It just makes you disappear. And I'm done disappearing. If you're reading this, if you've ever been the Margaret in your family, the one who shows up and gets nothing back, the one who's mocked and overlooked and expected to just take it, I want you to know something. Your boundaries are not cruelty. Your anger is not a character flaw. And taking up space does not make you selfish. It makes you human. The people who love you, really love you, won't punish you for having limits. They won't gaslight you for wanting respect. And if they do, they're telling you exactly who they are. Believe them. Walk away. And when they come back, because they will, they always do, don't let them rewrite the story. You write the story. You hold the deed. And you decide who gets to stay.